Welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network. Presented by Patriot Patch Company, Camerado, and Jim's Hairy Legs.
I got pants on you, dog.
Well,
Those are my sleeves.
I've seen your hairy legs 4 times already, bud.
Oh, that hairy leg.
So therefore, you're partial sponsor of the show now. I'll expect a check in the mail.
Okay, yeah, okay. Good enough.
Oh.
You guys both.
By the way, Jim, that's a nice shirt you got on there.
I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. Reloading Podcast merch.
Yep.
Available from Southern Gals Crafts. You can find the link on our website. So, anyway. So, first off, Nick and Ray, thank you very much for representing the show next week. I know it's a really, really tough job to spend all day Monday shooting all those guns.
Working this finger just a little bit.
I know it's just a terrible. It's a
dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
Terrible job. But I appreciate that you're willing to make the sacrifice. But I do know that you will pay for it later in the week with your feet. So, but on a serious note, thank you for being able to go and represent and, be able to check out all this stuff and be able to be there for the podcast, especially since I can't this year. So, I greatly appreciate it. So, it means a lot, seriously. So, thank you.
No problem.
No problem.
Go to your right, Jim. A little farther. A little farther. A little more. Oh, there you go. No, down. Oh. So what Jim is trying to show is the Patriot Patch Company Patch of the Month, which is the Yeti, cold-blooded. So just remember, kids, machine guns are not adult weapons. They are crew-served weapons. Therefore, you should use children because children are best used as crew-served. So as a Patriot Patch Company Patch of the Month Club member, you get a patch and a vinyl sticker. Whee! See? You can tell which one's vinyl because it's glossy. And also, Ryan Cross's original drawing, which if you spend some time looking, you can kind of see sometimes there's a little bit of change. But a lot of times it's pretty much spot on because when Ryan sketches these out, he does a really good job. So, and then on the back, they kind of show you some of the previous patches. So, patriotpatch.co, make sure you check them out. It's really got some awesome stuff over there. And they change what's going on depending on the season. So make sure you swing over, check them out. Patriotpatch.co. One of the cool things they have is right over my shoulder, kind of hidden behind the plant. They have a little magnetic patch holder. So it's magnetic, and then it's got a spot for you to put your Velcro patches, because all the morale patches are Velcro backed, so you can stick them on, like Jim's got it on his hat. I had made an attempt at a framed board that didn't work out too well, but then I've got that. So, and then obviously you can put the stickers all over the place too.
My patch board's currently in a garbage bag downstairs in the basement, so until I find a spot for it.
My patch board is a dresser drawer right down here.
I have some ideas for
I've been
a new
finding
one.
them all over the place. So as I find patches, I put them in there. I'm like, oh my god.
Mike, are the inside of your safes felt lined?
Yeah,
that's how I put a lot of mine. I just got the.
But I want to be able to see them when I put them up.
I know. It's just
So
I had the idea come up. My dad kind of likes my idea. I'm thinking about lining the ceiling of my new vault whenever that project gets finished eventually. Lining that with patches.
that would be cool.
So
it's just going to reduce the light in that vault, though, because with the black ceiling.
Who said it's
Eh.
got to be black?
Well, if you can find a white felt,
Yeah.
I can go. You can get it. It's the same stuff we used on to make my last passport. I just go to Joanne Fabrics or wherever I can get blue, probably, or green or whatever. Well, I'm putting a regular fluorescent light in there anyway, so I'll just have to trim around that.
Paint your ceiling white, buy white Velcro tape.
Amazon, 72 inches wide by 1.6 millimeters thick acrylic felt, $12.90.
There you go.
I don't want to do that because I don't care. Not signing into Amazon, you cheesy back iotas. So yeah, Michaels has got it white all over the place. But then you can get all sorts of colors too. You go greens, and yellows, and purples, and fluorescent pink. Speaking of all sorts of colors, we should talk about Camerado. Yes, kids, I'm actually getting the ad reads out of the way early for once instead of slamming them at the end.
I'll be back. I'm going to get something to drink.
Okay, Arnie.
Okay, I need all these World War II patches.
Oh, off of
Yeah, they're all like clearanced out for like $1.99 for most of them. It's like
nice. Very nice. I don't want to do slides and PDFs. I'm going to share my window. There we go. So, in the wonderful world, so Camerado, you can join their email list to be notified about new products and stuff. So these, this one, the Warden, the Raider, the Sunsphere, the Basilisk, and the Night's Watch are the original 5. And then Sean just went nuts. Well, Sean's nuts anyway, but so he went Merc, Scout, Emberstorm, Radical, Winterfell, Highgarden, Nightshade. And then if you go back up to the top here, you go to Camerado Collabs. He's got Sea Smoke with the Gun Collective, which is by far my favorite, which I've got to order some. And then with Clover Tack, he's got Pewty Fruity, which is kind of like a easiest way I can describe it is kind of a, you know, like a juicy fruit wrapper from the 80s. Unfortunately, probably half our listeners won't get that. And then Shell Shock, which is new.
Hey, I don't remember Shell Shock. That's a new one.
Yeah, that's new. So him and he and Clovertack got together.
I'd rather get the Shell Shock over the Tutti Frutti personally. That green isn't right? As shocking or bright or jumps
yeah, it's
out.
not as obnoxious.
Yeah.
So but if you're just looking for some basic, you know, got all your different things here. Basilisk I like. I've got a big luau shirt in that. Warden is the pattern for my bucket hat. So, but, and then Warden I think is also the same pattern for my pajama pants, which are awesome. I've had those for over a year now. Wear them all the time and they don't pill, so that's nice. They're really nice. Pajama pants are comfy. So what we originally were going to do, kids, is we were going to originally, when we started planning for SHOT Show, The original group was going to be Sharenda, who's in the same boat I am, lack of funds. Chris and his wife. My wife was going to come with and hang out with Chris's wife, and then also visit a couple of her friends. But unfortunately, with Sharenda and myself and my wife, the funds just aren't there. So, and then Chris and his wife had some stuff come up that's preventing them from going. So it's just Nick and Ray. But what we were going to do is we were going to take the Radical and we were going to take the Big Luau. And then on the back of this bad boy, I was going to make up white graphics that's the Reloading Podcast logo on it and put them on it. And we were all going to walk around shot. So if we find out we're all going to be able to make it to goals, then guess what, kids? It's back on. So, so we'll have to, keep that. We'll keep that on the back burner, and see if we can make it to. If we can all make it to goals, then we'll do that. Except I don't know if we should do it for Jim. He might have a seizure. He's old.
Yeah. Ugly too. What's the GOALS stand for?
I don't know.
Gun
America.
Look it up. Tell me. Go.
Gun Owners Advocacy and Leaders Summit.
And it will be August 9th and 10th.
Leadership, not leaders. Leadership, yep.
So.
Thank you, Nick.
Yep.
August 9th and 10th in Knoxville, Tennessee. So.
Good plug for Sir Brownells.
Yeah, that's the Cero Safe. We did that a couple weeks ago, but I couldn't get my fancy camera to work, so we didn't get to do that part. But Nick and Ray knocked it out of the park with it. So.
I remember. I was there.
But
Alaska
Russ. So Alaska Russ and I are big Red Wings fans, so he's keeping me up to date since I can't watch the game because
I just checked. The Blues scored, so hey, we're winning. That's all that matters for once.
You guys played a good game the other day. I watched.
I haven't watched a game since the Winter Classic, so
yeah. So.
They do better when you don't watch, Nick.
You're not wrong there. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Since I moved out here to Kansas, I don't get to watch all the games anymore. So
ESPN Plus, baby.
I just don't want to pay the money for it.
If you get the Disney 3-pack, it's ESPN Plus, it's Hulu Plus, or Hulu and Disney Plus, and if you get signed up on their introductory, you can get it for like $15 for the first year. So, but it's worth it just for the hockey. So, plus then the nice thing is with Disney, you can watch all the Star Wars stuff that they're actually making, and some of it's actually pretty good. So Mandalorian's pretty good. I just don't have the time to dedicate to it. So anyway,
the original 6 films were fabulous.
Huh?
The original 6 films were fabulous.
No, the original 3 films were fabulous. The second 3 that it released were, if you're including them as part of the originals, were trash. If you're talking about them 3 by themselves and not including them along with Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and New Hope or Return of the Jedi, if you're just taking those second 3 and including them by themselves, they're great films. If you're trying to use them along with the original 3, then they're trash. So, and then the last 3. Same story. If you're trying to include them with the first 6, they're trash. But if you're doing them all by themselves, they're good. So
even though I love sci-fi more than anything else, I know for a fact the last 3 were pathetic.
So
Last three were pathetic. But we all have our opinions. We're all entitled to them.
I mean, if you're going for the sole purpose of just having an entertaining movie, they were good. So if you're trying to stay canon and you're trying to stay in the Star Wars universe and everything else, it's garbage. So anyway. Yes, they did, St. Louis Ammo Man. And I was happy because Blackhawks suck. I hate the Blackhawks. I refuse to call them episodes 1 and 3. So. And I refuse to call Star Wars A New Hope. It is Star Wars, damn it. Screw you and your rebranding, George Lucas. Screw you. Okay. I feel better now.
You ain't right.
Why? Because I think the original 3 should be the original 3 and that's that?
No, because you'll take on anybody. That's why.
Maybe. Maybe I like to argue.
Exactly.
Should have been here last week. We had a good conversation going about the 7mm backcountry.
7mm backcountry. What's that? A cartridge?
Federal's new cartridge.
Oh God.
80,000 PSI cartridge.
What
Yes,
the
you
hell are they
heard me.
going to run it?
Yes, you heard me. It's an 80,000 PSI cartridge. It's a
You heard me too. What are they going to run it in?
non-brass. Non-brass case. It is a metal alloy of some sort, which they're not going to be. Holy crap! It's West Covina Dodge. You're still alive, thank God.
It's alive.
We haven't seen West Covina Dodge in a long frickin' time. Welcome back. So 7mm backcountry is a cartridge that Federal has been working on to try and combat a problem that is a problem but isn't a problem. So with cans taking off and everybody wanting to use cans for hunting, Jim, do you put your can on your 280 AI and then want to go whitetail hunting?
No.
Because it's really, really long, right?
Yeah, not only that, the rifle would weigh 20 pounds.
Right. So what people are doing to combat that, shorter barrels, and then they can put the can on. Well, what happens when you shorten your barrel, Jim?
Lose velocity.
Correct. So
Why?
what we as hand loaders do is we make the loads hotter. However, you can't do that and sell ammo over the counter. Why? Because you'll get the crap suit out of you. Because you will have that one gun that has that one chamber that one schmuck owns that hasn't shot anything in it in 40 years, and they put that cartridge in there that's hot, and it blows the gun up and kills somebody.
Yep.
So that's why the cartridges are loaded the way they are. So what? And maybe I didn't make this point clear last week. I hope I did, but I appreciate their efforts. I just think that what they accomplished is garbage. So basically what they did is they came out with the 7mm backcountry. So you're using the same 7mm 284 pill.
Right.
And what they've accomplished, it is a slightly smaller diameter cartridge as far as the case goes. So theoretically, over a 7 PRC, so or 284, or a 280 Ackley. There's a couple they compared it to. So it's not a even non-belted Magnum. Okay. But because the metallurgy in the case, they can crank the pressure.
Okay.
which if you had good quality brass, you can do that anyway, but that's beside the point. So they're running pressures around 80,000 psi, which what happens when you run the pressure hotter? That means you can get a faster load. So what they've done is they've essentially created a cartridge so that when you take that 2 inches of barrel off, or 4 inches of barrel, or whatever the case may be, you're not losing as much velocity because the cartridge is designed to be faster from the jump.
Okay.
Now you're still losing the velocity, because if you have a 24-inch barrel and the published velocity is spec'd at a 24-inch barrel, and you buy a gun with a 20-inch barrel and put a can on it, you still lost that 4 inches of barrel.
Right.
And what Tom Gresham brought up a great point that I had totally forgotten about when we were arguing about this. 200 yards down range, the speed doesn't make a difference because you've lost it. 400 yards, whatever the case may be. Because it's moving faster, it loses speed faster. So it's kind of a, whatever. And people can argue about that all they want. I like what they did. I don't like the results. Now, unlike the 30 Super Carry, where they had basically one manufacturer, Smith & Wesson, in bed with them, to produce guns for the 30 Super Carry, and then they got High Point to go with them, which, honestly, High Point's great firearms, but not a lot of market pull. This time, they got a lot of support. And so they've got a few different manufacturers. There's 80 different SKUs. Now, when you hear the words 80 different SKUs and you're talking about firearms, that sounds impressive. The catch is, if you have a Remington 700 and it's a 20-inch barrel with a standard taper, and everybody's crawling out from the woodwork. Wow. It's awesome.
That rifle with scope is going to weigh about 8 pounds.
Right.
Maybe not.
But what I'm saying is, so if you've got that rifle and it's in olive drab, and then you have another rifle, it's the same except for it's in desert tan, those are two different SKUs. So that's what I'm saying, is there's 80 different SKUs. However, there's probably only realistically 10 to 15 different actual rifles. You've got different accoutrements and different colors, and that's how you get your 80 SKUs. So people are going to buy it. Hopefully it sells. I mean, I want to see it succeed from the standpoint that we need to be able to support innovation in the industry. 30 Super Carry was a bad idea from the jump. Nobody needed it. Nobody wanted it. If you don't like the recoil, you get 380. If you didn't really care about recoil, then it's 9mm or 40 short and weak or 45. 30 Super Carry did not add enough in a handgun market that's already tight to make a benefit. Now, rifle cartridges, there is a wide range of options, a wide range of choices, a wide range of taste, and a wide range of uses. Tom said that it works pretty good on elk because his son Ryan took a couple elk with a 7 backcountry. He didn't say what distance, but Ryan came on and talked a couple minutes. So go back and listen to Gun Talk from this past weekend if you want to find out about it. So that's what's today, Tuesday. So that'd be the 12th of January, 2025. To hear more about 7mm backcountry. He talked a little bit about it. He actually had the guy from Federal on. The guy from Federal, gave the whole hoorah rah corporate blah blah blah. So okay, cool. Like I said, you're talking 150 feet per second. Who whoop-de-doo over a 7 PRC, which you're talking factory loads. If you're hand loading 7 PRC, you're probably only talking at worst, probably 50
Yeah.
feet per second difference would be my guess. You're probably, because hand loading, you're picking up anywhere from 50 to 150 feet per second out of the muzzle, depending on what you're doing on your loads. So unless you're certain people that love to really push the limits, and then you're probably pushing that 7 PRC faster, and you're probably still only looking 65, 70,000 PSI. So Spud 76 said he heard they lowered the first cartridge to come out in the last recent years. It's kind of broken that 65,000 PSI mark, which has kind of been the standard top of the line, top limit for years now, just kind of self-imposed by the industry. Was the 277 Fury from SIG. And that was up to 70,000, but it's also not straight brass. It's a two-piece hybrid case. So that's why they were, they originally were pushing, I think, close to 80 also. But he said that they, and I don't know if this is fact or not, I'm not verified it, but I know they have tweaked that load quite a few times since it's come out, which is why it's still not really available. Plus, they have a military contract. That's the other reason. But 277 Fury, he said they reduced the pressure to 70,000 PSI due to accuracy issue, which makes sense. Think about it. Your max loads usually aren't your most accurate load, right? Usually, that's the key. So, basically, as far as your ballistic coefficients goes, your 7mm pill is probably the sweet spot. Now it's a matter of finding a way to deliver it the way you want it. So, Raggle Fraggle just said 7mm proven caliber. Now we're just talking velocities, basically. So, but I like the fact that they're willing to step out and away from brass, which has been the gold standard for how many years now? Over 100.
The Holy Grail.
120. And they're looking at getting away from it. Now they say go ahead.
I was just saying that you're talking about caseless ammunition.
Not caseless.
You're talking about. No, I know this is not caseless. It's new stuff. It's a metallic cartridge. I understand that. But caseless ammunition has been on the back burner for a long time.
Yeah, the G11 worked out great.
Anyway, let me repeat my original question. Let me repeat my original question, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
What are they running this 7mm backcountry ammunition, 80,000 PSI? What are they? What in the world are they running it in?
There's quite a few different rifles they're going to be doing it on. So
okay,
like I covered that. I covered that as I was rolling through. There's 80 different SKUs. They I don't know all of the companies that are doing it. I know there's quite a few. So
all right.
Hang on a second. They're chatting about a powder that got killed, and I want to tell them that I got killed. So anyway, now off to yours. Hey, I got good news today. Ooh, Weatherby's making 1 in 7mm backcountry. So that's promising.
So it's an unreloadable cartridge, is it?
Yep, it's an ornery little cartridge.
Yeah, it looks like Savage and Weatherby are going to be your cheapest options.
Strictly factory ammo.
They do say it's reloadable.
That's what I was just about to talk about. So they say it's reloadable. The catch is it's with their scientific method. So that's what troubles me. And Tom asked him about it, and he danced around. The guy from Federal danced around. So I'm suspicious. Or as the kids like to say, sus. Yeah. I don't know how well that's gonna go. So but yeah, running with scissors and I had a good conversation about it. By the way, running with scissors, the question was asked if you were on our Discord channel or not. If you're not, we would really, really like for you to join us. So, because a couple of people had some questions for you.
So I'm
But
reading this now on that backcountry, kind of some of the Q&A people were asking. So one's like, how does peak alloy case compare to legacy steel cases or normal steel cases? They say it's completely different type of steel with superior mechanical properties. Peak alloy case are also nickel plated. I'm like, so we're running steel case type of steel, but also plated. It's interesting. It's just very interesting. It's something I've never thought of.
The reason for running nickel plating is theoretically it acts as kind of a lubricant as far as the cases go. That's why people love to run nickel plated in their revolvers, especially because they drop out real easy. So whether anybody's actually ever proved that nickel plated is actually any sort of provides any sort of lubricity, I don't know. But so hello everybody that's crawled out of the woodwork to join the chat. So
if you were asking me if I was on Discord, I still am.
not you. Running with scissors. So
sorry, my mistake.
Nope, running with scissors. So yeah, like I said, I like the idea. I think so far it was a giant waste of money. But if they continue to push the issue and continue to expand on the idea, and it's truly reloadable and does not require a lot of extra steps from brass, like say the 277 Fury case does, and then that one pistol case that they came out with a few years ago. Remember that one?
Pistol case. That Federal came out with?
No. Some aftermarket company, it required a special setup to reload because it was a two-piece case as well.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, they had a steel head and they had a brass case head. The
right.
Two halves of the case. We got some of it.
Brass body, stainless head. Yeah, Paul Lau just mentioned it too. So I don't remember the brand was, but yeah, and there's all these little things that come out and they say they're reloadable, but when you look at it, it's not practical in any way, shape, or form. It's cheaper to buy new ammo than it is to try and reload that stuff. So I mean,
would be tough on steel dies.
Right. So I mean, you can reload steel cased ammo. I mean, you can take your cheap Wolf, especially let's say 7.62 by 39. You can take your 20 round boxes of Wolf or Tula or whatever, and you can reload it. But it's not easy on the dies. So. So I guess starting off our topic for this evening, actually, no, we still got to talk about what everybody's done. Jim, what you been up to?
Last week, I attended the gun club meeting, a monthly gun club meeting of the Stanley Gun Club.
Awesome.
Okay. But what I also did during the meeting was I stood up for a person that happens to be not my next door neighbor, but my back door neighbor, shall we say. It was about 2 miles away. I sponsored a brand new guy that came out of the state of California. He promised us straight up and down that he left his California attitude out in the Golden State.
God, I hope so.
So I told the guy, well, he kind of came in half-assed with a hat in hand, NRA card, wanted to join real bad, but he didn't do any work days or anything like that. And well, he got 2 sponsors, myself and a friend of mine named Marty. Anyway, we sponsored a brand new guy. He's got farms. He's got 2 farms, a 22 handgun and a 9mm handgun.
That's probably all
wants
you
to
could
practice.
legally own.
Like I said, he came out of California. Anyway, he wanted to practice with his 22.
Awesome.
So I told him I'd sponsor him, and which I did. And he got inducted into the thing. I'm responsible for him for a year until his membership expires within the year.
So does
After
that
a year,
mean
he's
you just
not-
keep checking up on him and kind of pay attention when he's going?
Yep, and also I tried to take him shooting.
Okay.
That's good. That's a good way of getting Jim to the range.
There you
Not in
go.
this kind of weather. So I got 280 AI. Just been begging me to shoot it. No, you were asking about my can for my 280 AI. It's 30 caliber can, all that. Maybe I saw it go. But the thing is, I got a 28-inch barrel. I carry, and that can's 6 to 7 inches long. I don't even know how long the darn thing is. I thread that on the end of the rifle. I'm gonna look like a fool walking around the damn woods. That would
Well,
be
the
a
fact that
bench
it's a
time.
28-inch barrel makes it a little impractical too. So
I put a medium weight barrel on it as well. What we got? What do we got here?
it's a Sharenda.
Oh,
Your favorite troublemaker.
So
got that right. Where you been, girl?
she's been fighting with technology today.
You mean today? While I'm late or the last few weeks? Yeah. No, actually, I was helping a lady track and field dress for deer, so I was running a little late
Nice.
getting back because tomorrow's the last day for whitetail season here in Missouri. So
Cool.
I was doing my serve the cookies, and now I got to eat them. Yeah, if you ever need help, just give me a call, and if I'm available, well,
It's all great until somebody actually
put my
calls
money
you.
where my mouth was speaking.
Yep. So
welcome, friend. I'm glad you're
Actually,
here.
it was great. It was great. It's funny because they never need me. They just want a presence there.
It's your presence that helps give them the confidence,
And I
which
don't
is
feel
important.
good.
So
As long as I
for
got
those of
coffee
you
in
who
hand.
right. Anyway, so Raggle Fraggle covered in depth in the chat about nickel-based lubricants and stuff. I'll just say his first thing. Nickel-based lubricants are known for their high lubricity, which is a measure of how smoothly surfaces can slide against each other. Here are 2 examples of. I'm not going to read through the examples. Let's just say that they have better sliding properties than P. Diddy's floor. Anyway, speaking of cartridges that might die, Spud76 wants to know which is going to last longer: 7 Backcountry or 21 Sharp.
Isn't 21 Sharp already dead?
Kinda. 21 Sharp's a rimfire cartridge that somebody designed because you can't really take a solid copper projectile and put a heel on it easily. So for those of you who don't know, 22 long rifle bullets, 22 shorts, 22 mags, 22 longs. Well, not 22 mags. Sorry, 22 shorts, 22 CBs, 22 longs, and 22 long rifles have a healed bullet. And the reason they have a healed bullet is because the bullet is literally the same outside diameter as the case. So they make a healed bullet, so the bullet's actually slightly smaller where it fits inside the case, and that's what holds it in place. What the 21 Sharp has done is completely redesigned the projectile. They're still using a 22 long rifle case, but they've completely redesigned the projectile so it will work. And now you will have a non-lead projectile for states like
California.
the lovely morons out west, which have decided that they're going to ban all lead projectiles in hunting. And so eventually they will get to rimfire. Right now, for the most part, rimfire has been exempt from it. But basically, Winchester's getting out ahead of things to make it so that when they do get to that point, that Winchester has a cartridge ready to go. The data is actually pretty promising on it, but the marketing has been horrid. They really launched well with a couple of print ads and stuff, and not really much on the new media because Winchester still hasn't figured that out, but it's kind of been quiet since then. So I don't know. I guess if I have to put money down on one of those two, like say it's the roulette table and it's either red or black, that's all I can bet on, I'm going to bet the 21 Sharp dies first. So the 7 backcountry has a little more practical use. They're marketing it to a specific group that exists and is continuing to grow by leaps and bounds. We're not anywhere near Europe when it comes to can use for hunting, but it's getting better. And as people continue to use more cans and they continue to shrink down those barrels, they're going to continue to want that. You know, they hear that speed advertisement. Why do guys buy muscle cars? Because it goes fast. Why was the Hellcat such a success? Even though it wasn't necessarily the most mechanically sound vehicle, because it went fast. So, you know, the 7BC's got that going for it because it's got speed. And so, yeah. And plus, the 7BC is taking on 7PRC, whereas the 21 Sharp is taking on 22 long rifle. Yeah. Yeah, you might as well, you know, that's one of those arguments where, you know, somebody tries to say coffee should be banned. Good luck. Come here. You think coffee should be banned? Come here. Let me talk to you in this dark alley for a minute.
Remember that meme you sent me, Mike? I'll be ready for that fight.
Right? I mean, taking on 22 long rifle is basically kind of the same thing. Trying to tell people that, you know, coffee should be banned in this country. Or alcohol. Oh, yeah, that worked out well, didn't it?
There's a name I haven't seen on there. Or one of our Canuckian friends, Jorgen Reagan.
Yep. So.
Welcome, my friend. Welcome.
So, yeah, James Pugh said that he's surprised 6.5 needs more as lasted as long as it has. Because it works. It serves multiple purposes. It's amazing for a long distance target cartridge, which is what it was designed for. But at the time they designed it, things weren't going well for long distance shooting, so they decided to make it into a hunting cartridge. And guess what? Hornady has an incredible marketing department. So guess what? Hornady marketed the heck out of it and made everybody fall in love with it. And guess what? Guess what the only thing you could find at the beginning of COVID was? 6.5 needs more. So everybody looking for a frickin' rifle and frickin' ammo to go hunting that fall in 2020, guess what they had to buy? 6.5 needs more. So there you go. Ooh, Raggle Fraggle, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. So anyway. So Nick and Ray, what you been up to?
Not much. Just busy week at work, trying to get ready for being gone next week. Really didn't do much. Just kind of a nice, relaxing weekend.
Didn't
Nice.
do much. What did we do all last week?
Well, we worked on projects. So
Yeah, got your vault all framed out, and
Nice.
after shot, we're gonna wire it, and then be ready for drywall.
Sweet.
When I get done with manual labor, I'm gonna invite myself over.
You did.
Nice. I see how you is.
I know my weakness is housework ain't one of them.
Nick and Ray sure end up put a message in the chat about stopping by Kestrel and saying hi to Andrew. So while you're doing that, finagle him into coming on the show.
Oh, I can ask him. I didn't know
Good,
you wanted him on the show.
Yeah, I asked
Yeah,
him
I'll
2
sweet
years
talk
ago.
him. Oh, I'll sweet talk him. He might say yes to me.
So. Ooh. Yeah, that's tough, Raggle Fraggle. You got to figure out a way to do that covertly. So.
Oh.
Oof. That's tough. Yeah. Ooh. Eef. So. Yeah.
You know, one of my friends has this arrangement with her husband. Every time he gets a tattoo, she gets a new gun.
That's a hell of a deal. I like that idea.
I do too, because I get to play with her toys.
Isn't it nice to have friends that can buy lots of guns?
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, so Sharenda, what you've been getting deer. I've just been slugging along working, and that's about it. I want to go back to chat. Yes, Raggle Fraggle, I did shut down the OnlyFans. Unfortunately, they told me if I didn't take it down that they were going to start charging me for having my nasty toes up there. So.
Oh.
So St. Louis Ammo Man said he was in Kentucky visiting the in-laws for Christmas, and I was able to get to Kentucky Gun Co. Jealous. And I saw a whole wall of real good cleaning supplies. I've never heard of them. They're reasonably new to the market. They're good. They are good. Used a couple. I am going to eventually be buying their bench vise. I am going to be buying their scope mounting system. I'm going to be buying their sight pusher. So Sean Heron has their sight pusher, and it works really well. I've used a couple of their cleaning stuff. A couple of years ago, I want to say NRA, not shot. They actually had a demo set up where you could play around with some of their cleaning kits. They're like they've got their AR-15 in their little tray. It's got a pull-out mat, and it's got a spot for all the little tools and stuff, and it works really nice. Kind of keeps everything, it gives you a spot to set everything. The mats are really nice. I literally took a bottle of hops and poured it on the mat. and it didn't go through. I'm talking like a shot, like an ounce of hops on this mat, and the mat's like this, 9 by 13 probably. I poured like a shot glass full of hops on this mat, and it did not seek through. I stopped back 2 hours later; it still hadn't run through. Still the same mat because you could see the spot on it, but it hadn't gone through. So the mat soaked it all up. So I was pretty impressed with that. But the mats hold up. We've carried them at Bass Pro Cabela's for a couple of years now. So definitely some good stuff. I would definitely recommend. So, and then if you have access to Expert Voice, they're on Expert Voice. So yes, once again, segueing back to the topic on hand for 2025.
What was that mat name again? My computer buffered.
Real Avid.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Make all sorts of cool stuff. So the only thing that I don't like of theirs is their laser bore sighter, because it doesn't actually have a way to center it on the bore. You have to guess. Which, some people say bore sighting is a guess in the first place. But I prefer to have a method of bore sighting where you can actually theoretically center it on the bore, center it in the bore, and not just kind of hope that you've got it centered. Because, like, excuse me, if you've got, say your bore and their magnet is inch in diameter, so you're trying to line this up, and you could have it off kilter quite a bit. I mean, I always start at 25 yards, but if they're using this as a bore sighter, then you want to try and get it as close as possible to begin with. So, oh God, put the hat back on! Put the hat back on! So, Regal Fraggle says they have their pin punch set. So, yeah, they make a whole big AR building kit and everything, and yeah, their bench vise is just amazing. They've got interchangeable jaws for all sorts of different projects and stuff, and yeah, and it's affordable stuff. So,
Nick, that's the company that had the camera mount you wanted for like.
Yep, I'm gonna
demonstrating reloading.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that again this year because they talked about that 2 years ago. I just don't know if it's out quite yet.
I'm just popping up an extra voice here and seeing. So,
Wishlist.
Yeah, so the product I'm looking at from them is called the Smart Assist Accessory System. That's a mouthful. Jeez. And it's got like 4 plug-in spots that you can mount to the side of like a 2x4, and they're on extended flexible arms. So like you can mount one that's got a phone mount, one's got a magnifying glass, and one's got a little LED light. So it also can mount to their these extendable flexible arms can mount to their bench vise. So it's a pretty cool looking system.
Yeah, they've got an Armor's Master Kit. I just saw that. Where'd it go? Couple of different punch sets. So, I just saw what you were talking about. Where'd it go? Then they've got a bore guide and like Paul talks about. Nice little choke wrench. Lubes. Lubes are important. Where the heck? Now I'm annoyed. Good grief. Anyway. Oh, there it is. It is a neat little thing. So that's what Nick was talking about. That little beastie there. That is cool.
So I'm looking at that to mount near my presses. So for wanting to do like videos for loading on the press, you can just have a place to mount your phone and have the light over the head, and
then you got your magnifying glass for when your dad's over, and
that's what a cell phone's for most of the time.
Damn right.
Hey, I've got a lit magnifying glass on my reloading bench.
He does. Well, it was my old one. It was my old one from when I was young. So,
and they sell pocket knives too with seatbelt cutters. So, but yeah, they've got a whole crap ton of stuff. Make sure you check them out. Realavid.com. So,
and they have a nice display at SHOT Show where you can get up there and handle all the products. And
yep,
they kind of want you to torture test them for them, is what they really want you to do.
So. Yes, they do. So yeah, my goal for my wish list for this year is to get that bench vise, get the new scope mounting system. I kept trying to talk my boss at work to get it, but he says we've already got 3 of the Wheeler levels, so we can't justify. Could bother me, potential spam. Bugger off. So, Ray, what's one thing on your wish list?
I don't know. I haven't really been wanting much anything lately. Most of my extra funds this year are going to be spent building the new house, and so
that was on the wish list, but now that's become a reality. So
that's right. So I get to move to a free state. That's my big wish coming true. Moving to a free state, and so I'm getting the size garage I want. Getting my
here
reloading room will probably be a little smaller, but it will all be in the vault. So my vault / reloading room will all be as one. Be a little closer. Thank you. Be closer to Nick, so our own channel will start back up again a little bit. Be doing more together.
Yeah. Well, when you get it rolling, start plugging it here.
Yeah, we'll do that. Like I say, because I haven't, other than some 308 and stuff like that, I haven't done a whole lot of reloading in the last year, really. Just very, very little.
Yeah.
Been buying more supplies than anything.
I've got
nothing wrong with that.
I've got an aside, Mike, that
yes.
I'd like to bring up I'd like to bring up at the end of the show.
Okay.
Wish list. I was looking back. I was trying to think of some of the guns I had when I was a kid, or they're around when I was a kid. They no longer make. I think when Ruger first came out with the takedown, didn't they have it in the wood stock with the flash hider on it? I don't think they currently make a takedown with a wood stock that's got the flash hider. That's one thing I would like for them to make, and that would probably be on my wish list.
Okay, Dad. We watched that video last week when you were here of that guy that used to work for American Rifleman that had the Samson stock on the 1022.
Yeah,
that was a takedown. I think that's what we would build. We would want one like that. That would be cool.
That was a takedown?
I'm 90% sure it was. I'll look back at the video, but if not, I guarantee you can get that Samson stock on a takedown.
Let me look.
You're talking about the 1022?
Yeah.
Okay. Because somebody had asked me at the library if they ever made the 14, the mini 14 at a takedown.
Not yet.
Oh yeah. No, Mini 14. I don't know.
No, not yet that I know
For some
of.
reason, I thought maybe they did, but then
I
we
just
were
think
talking
it's.
about it, and maybe
I
we
think
didn't.
the way the chamber works on the Mini 14, it wouldn't work quite right.
Yeah, I think that's what they said. So
I have a Mini 14. I put a folding stock on it. Folding collapsible stock on it. Is that what you're talking about?
no, takedown where you can literally the barrel disconnects at the chamber.
Oh, yeah. No,
From the
that's all
receiver?
threaded together. Right. That's all threaded together. The
Yeah.
1022, I know the barrel comes out of it.
I've got a PCC 9mm on hold. So
they
everybody can
make
send me money so I can buy that.
They make one with a wood stock dad. It's a tallow distributor exclusive, but it's not a threaded
see.
muzzle.
Yeah, I think only
Davidson's?
the tactical comes with the muzzle device.
And I think what you would want to do is buy that standard. If you're looking at the models, what is that, 11-11-2 or whatever, that one, and then get a wood stock for it. Let's see.
I think they used to make one though. That's what's.
I don't remember one.
Maybe if somebody out there does, they can let us know. Excuse me. Reloadingpodcast@gmail.com.
Other than that, it's just some of the guns I had as a kid. If I guess I were to buy another gun, I'd get a Remington Apache.
Uh-huh.
They used to be dirt dog cheap. I remember when they were back $69. Now they're what, $300 and $400 at all the auctions.
If not more. It's insane what those are going for.
It's crazy, yeah.
See, I'm kind of spoiled because, well, I am, but I'm not because of how I got them. But all of the guns that I wanted from when I was a kid, I have.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, how I got them sucks, but which it'll be 2 years tomorrow since I lost my dad. But Jim, what's on your wish list? Reloading or firearms?
Reloading. I want to build a bigger bench.
Okay.
Put out my garage and build a bigger bench.
As opposed to the shed?
That's a wish. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I've made a lot of room in the shed. I'm still sorting lead.
Mm-hmm.
I got about, I'm going to say 65, 70% zinc willow.
Hmm.
I mean, it makes me sad to think about all that. I bought him as lead willows, but, he warned me before I walked away. Jim, I got to tell you, there's a lot of zinc in that. He did tell me.
Yeah. Well, as
Therefore,
Andy's proved, you can cast with it anyway, so.
Yep.
Surrenda.
Yep, the zinc dot.
How much time we got? I'm just kidding. I definitely need to get a bench for my reloading stuff. And I would love to have one of those new Garmin chronographs. And I gotta finish unpacking my reloading stuff. I know I still got a few items I need to replace so I can start. I need to reload some more rounds for my 243 and get started on the Creedmoor. And there's a couple of molds I want for casting too. Firearm wise, I wouldn't mind having a 20 gauge semi-auto or over under. And I would love to have a 30-06.
Hey, Trenda.
Yes.
You saw that ingot mold I gave you?
Of course I do. I don't even have to look for that. I know where it's at. That bad boy is a double functional piece of art. It's the ingot mold and also in a pinch of emergency a weapon if someone breaks into the house.
Yeah, I made
Yeah.
a 1/4 inch hot roll angle iron. 1/4 inch thick, not 1/4 by 1/4.
Yeah, and the molds are I call them gold bars, but they're actually more triangular shape, but you can stack them up pretty nice.
Yep. That's why we make them that way. I have 2 of my own. Mine, I made sure the ingot held full 16 ounces of lead.
I
Yours, I
don't
think, was a little bit.
remember how much yet, but I am as soon as when I get another bin, as soon as the weather improves, I'm gonna set up my stuff. I think I got everything to get started again, but I did play with it over at my friend's house because her husband he cast. Oh, and I
Oh,
want a
good. You
muzzle
won't get
loader. I want a muzzle loader, CB Wolf. If I can catch one on clearance somewhere, that would be great.
Now, 30-06, you want a modern hunting rifle or an
Yes,
older style? Okay.
modern. Yeah,
Why 30-06, Brenda?
cause why not?
No, it's not. What do you have? What do you have in mind?
No, I
Let's-
don't. I
let's-
just want one.
It's hard to beat a good 30-06.
Uh-huh.
No argument there, man. I'm just trying to take a pin the lady down as to why she wants that. What's wrong with the 308?
Nothing that's on
It's
the list
good.
too. It's just not on the immediate list. That's why I asked how much time y'all got. Like I literally have list, subset list, list 2.83. I have the notebook that has multiple lists.
Who invited this lady on this show the first time?
Oh, some old
That's
guy
your
named
fault.
Jim.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you're right, and I'm glad it did too.
I am too. You guys are pretty
Or-
all right.
So are we all. So
Gotta do
James
something
just
for
mentioned
her.
something that I want to see made,
A
and there's
pump?
rumors of it. So
Oh,
Rem
really?
Arms, yeah,
Ooh.
Rem Arms has rumored, not very substantiated, but has rumored that at some point in time they may bring back the pump and semi-auto rifles, aka the 7400 and 7600. So whether it happens or not, I don't know, but that's one of the rumors. I would like to see it happen. So.
It's kind of like the rumor I saw. I wouldn't say a rumor, but the reason why FN put this out yesterday was kind of odd. So FN America put on their Instagram page talking about the FNFAL and had like a nice little paragraph on it, and everybody's like, "Is FN re-releasing the FAL?" So I don't know. I don't want to know the price it's going to be. And like Mike and I were talking behind the scenes before the show, are they going to screw it up like they did the new FN High Power?
Right.
So I'm not holding my breath, but it's just going to make mine go up value even more.
Mm-hmm.
So
That was a hell of a fighting rifle.
yeah, right arm of the free world.
But if they think about maybe building a modern rifle with that tilting bolt action,
I don't know. I'm interested to see if this isn't just talking about their history or if it's an actual product coming. What are they going to do to? Are they going to have like a classic series, but also have a modern series? I don't know. One, I don't know. Does FN still even hold the machinery that was originally building them? They probably
not.
sold that off years ago. So
who's the one up in the Chicago area making them?
DS Arms.
DS Arms. That'd be their only competition.
Yeah. But I don't know if they can compete price wise where DS Arms is right now. Well, they're not even in Illinois anymore. I think they moved across the state to Iowa.
Did they?
I think. or to Wisconsin. He was saying something at GunCon about it. I don't remember.
So, what about other things that you wish they would bring back? Spud 76 wants them to get rid of the 42 and bring back the 24. Savage. I'd agree.
The 2024. Is that the 410-22?
410, 22, 22, 20.
Yeah.
They did that new thing they did. What was that, about 10 years ago? That was all the synthetic stock. That was ugly. Unless that was.
That's 42.
Yeah.
It is ugly.
It is just ugly. I don't know.
And
Do
it's
they
only
even make
and
it?
it's only 410, 22.
I don't know if they make that anymore. I haven't seen it on the SKU for years.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got brand new ones in last spring. So I don't know if they're making it for 25 or not, but so. So my immediate wish for the wish list is that the Red Wings pull their head out of their ass and come storming back and beat the Sharks and make it 8 in a row. I don't see that happening because unfortunately Ville Husso is in goal and he sucks this year.
Hey,
Anyway,
that's why we got rid of him. we saw the writing on the wall. That's how St. Louis does things usually.
West Covina Dodge wants to see the handy rifle brought back. The actual honest to God New England Arms handy rifle. Or are you thinking about one of the various reproductions after? And Ray, you're muted.
Trying to figure out what the handy rifle is.
If it's the New England, or not the New England? Fuck, I don't know. I give up. Now Ray's muted, or Nick's muted. Or he's just talking.
No, my microphone's muted. So the same company that made my 20 gauge single shot shotgun, Dad, they made different barrels for it. So
Yes, I was right.
You talking about the center fire rifle barrels for it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, it probably would never happen because Rossi can't even make it successful anymore.
Yeah, and then Thompson Center is still fighting with the contenders with the new TC Arms or whatever they renamed it themselves.
Somebody posted in Discord that House of Arms or House of Guns, whichever, has finally been approved as a vendor for Thompson Center. So they will be carrying the Encore and the so on and so forth.
So who bought the New England Arms? Was that so H&R owned it?
Harrington and Richardson, and then Harrington Richardson I think was owned by
That was
Remington, and I think they are now owned by.
I know H&R is owned by Palmetto. I don't know if that still is all under that umbrella. I just don't see it anytime soon with them doing so much of the retros and.
So the problem is, Rossi.
Yeah.
Is the only company out there that's doing it right now, and they're not even.
Yeah.
And they actually do it pretty well. I've had a couple of theirs, and nobody buys theirs even. So, and it was Big E that posted it in the Discord. So, and I'm looking to see who owns New England. Marlin.
Well, then that's Ruger then.
Yes.
Which I could see that then.
Oh no, that's old news.
Oh, darn.
Damn it. You fucking suck, Google.
Dad, look in the private chat on the side. I threw a link. It's a Midway USA link. It's to the Samson folding takedown stock.
Oh.
They're cool, but
I agree.
I've shot up.
Not for that
Well,
price.
they're not that comfortable of a stock. They look badass, but they're
No.
Yes.
They're not comfortable.
It is currently owned by JJE, which is Palmetto State Armory.
Yep.
So. But I don't think they're doing anything. I think they just have the name right now. So, but yeah, I would love to see that. I would love to see the handy rifle brought back too, because it was well done. So, Mr. Hornet wants to see Ruger bring back. Which one's that one? I want to say it's the Deerfield. I think the Deerfield's the.
I think it was just the Model 44, I thought. Yeah, I thought. Oh, Deer Stalker. That's what it was called. I think.
You talking about the
Nope.
H&R?
No, we've seen them, Dad. The looks like a 10-22, but it's in 44 mag.
I was right. It's a Deerfield.
I think he's right.
9944 is the model number. Deerfield carbine. The Deer Stalker is, I believe, the lever.
I don't know. There were too many dang models. It's hard to keep them all straight.
So, but yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see Ruger bring back a couple of those too, because they've probably got the tooling still. So, what I really want to see is Ruger bring back the 1022 mag and the 10s and the 17 HMR mag. I want those two back. Even if it's limited runs. I mean, for God's sakes, Ruger, it's your 75th year. Pull your head out of your tuchus and let's do some stuff here. Or was last year their official 75th? So.
I'd like to see the Papoose. That'd be a cool one.
Yeah.
A version of the
I don't know
Papoose.
I don't know if
I
they
think
do
they
it,
still make it. I think they do.
No, they don't. They discontinued the Papoose 15 years ago.
Is it the model 795 a takedown?
No.
Marlin, it's not?
No, the Papoose was not a 22.
It was.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
Yeah, it had no fore end. It was literally just ended at the barrel, the chamber shank.
It was kind of a rip-off of the AR survival rifle.
Yeah.
AR-7.
Yep.
So
it was Marlin's version. Yeah.
Look up Marlin 795.
I have one, and no, it's not a Papoose.
795 is not a Papoose. It's the 70 PSS is what the Papoose was true model was.
Well, their picture online shows it as a takedown.
Yes, they did have 795 takedowns, but God no, it's not a Papoose. 795
is way better.
What a 795 is it is a detachable box magazine version of the 60. That's all a 795 is. Otherwise, literally, it's the same gun.
I like the old Marlin Glenfield carbines, the short ones. Those
are
a good little gun. But still a Model 60.
Yep. So, James Pugh said Rossi's are nice. Had a few at Royal King. 300 Blackout, 44 mag, 300 Legend. So, Paul Loud wants to see Smith & Wesson go back to non-Hillary hole revolvers since they're no longer mass holes. That'd be nice. So that's that brings me to I want to see them make national reciprocity the law of the land, and I want to see them make the NFA and the GCA and whatever that stupid frickin' act in '86 was go away. And one more. Preemption. Firearms preemption law at the federal level. Jim knows how well preemption laws work because he used to see them work in Pennsylvania.
Yep.
That's what I want to see happen.
He's talking what Mike's talking in layman's terms. In layman's terms, what Mike's talking about is the federal government overrides all the states out of the 50 states of the union with federal law saying you will have national reciprocity. If you come in from Arizona and you have a firearm and you're in New York State, you're safe, and as long as you don't break any New York laws. Well, unfortunately, a lot of these laws like that going to take a lot of work to take off the books.
So,
but
that's why somebody has to make it, because they have to pass national reciprocity and then they have to enforce it. So, but the thing is, when I'm talking about preemption, I'm only looking at one specific thing. I'm looking at the Second Amendment, the Second Amendment only. I don't want preemption for anything else. I just want preemption for that, because that is the Bill of Rights, and it should have been covered already, kids, but it's not. So fine. They want to play other stupid ass little games, then we're going to do preemption, because that's what states have to do to all these stupid little cities. So if you get rid of NFA, GCA, and along with it, some people aren't going to like this, but along with it, the Brady Bill and NICS and all of that, you don't need the ATF. Because the FBI can go after alcohol and tobacco. So, it's interesting to watch other countries make comments. People from other countries make comments about firearms in this country. And it's because they don't understand that they are relying on the crown for their safety. That's not what our founding fathers intended. Our founding fathers intended for us to be reliant on ourselves for our own safety. And we aren't anymore. And that's one of the reasons we're in some of the messes we're in. Anyway, so well, that's why the NFA needs to go away, Paul. No more tax stamps. So, period. And then preemption, because right now, Wisconsin has a law in the books that are fully automatic weapons are illegal in Wisconsin, except for law enforcement and military. So that's why I want the preemption law. So, I mean, overall, Wisconsin's got pretty decent on gun laws, but that's a big one. That sucks. Not that I'm going to own one, but it annoys me that I don't have the opportunity to. So. Some of my requests have been answered already as far as I kind of was looking for more lever guns. But Savage already answered that, because they now have a 22 mag and a 22 or a 17 HMR lever gun coming out this year. So.
Nice.
So that's what I've kind of been looking for on the wish list is,
A nice little 44 Magnum would be awful nice.
And affordable. That's what I want. I want an affordable 357 and 44.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right now, if you want a 357 or 44, you're looking minimum 650. I think is the cheapest one out there right now. And that's from GeForce, which is a Turkish importer, which some of their stuff's sketchy, let's be honest. So
I've never understood why revolvers are so expensive, and the ammo for them are expensive. I mean, you go look at 38 Special, it's ungodly what they want for 38 Special, and it's the cheapest around to reload.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
But it's not as cheap to make because it's a rimmed cartridge.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to punch. So.
But there's probably no more machining in a revolver than would be an auto loader.
Oh no, revolvers are intricate when you go get into the lockwork compared to most pistols.
Right. So. Charter arms are reasonably cheap, but they don't make a lever action that I've seen. Anyway, the other thing that I want, and I think Nick wants this too. I know Chris Sharp wants it. Is Bond Arms to finally get off their carcass and release their lever gun.
I'm trying to remember what that.
That's the one that 5.56 300 blackout uses an AR upper with a modified bolt.
Oh yeah, we did look at that. I'm afraid of that though. I'm afraid.
Why?
Oh gosh, have you seen the MSRP though?
Right.
Ouch.
But I want it out there because unlike Patriot Ordnance Factories,
yeah,
which
is a joke. I remember looking at that.
Yeah, Bond's actually practical and usable. So anyway, Jim, you got any firearms you want to see? Or any reloading supplies? Reloading equipment?
Yes, I'd like to see the price of components go back to 30 years ago. I know, never happened.
I'll take 10 years ago.
I'll take 10.
Yeah, well, we were paying $10 for a brick.
Hell, I'll take 5 years ago at this point in time.
Like right before COVID, I'd be happy with. I think the last brick I bought right before COVID, we were in Texas. Well, COVID had just kicked off. We were on the way to Texas. We shot the Shields in Dallas.
350 100 is what I paid for right before COVID.
I think it was $27 for the last brick I bought.
So it would have been it would have been $35 for a brick.
I still have that box somewhere. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I paid $35 for a brick of large rifle Magnum in February because I was working up a new 308 load. Yeah, Paul, I'd like to see a lot of powder, Alliant powder.
Hey, Mike, I'm gonna get off here, but I want to do my side if you don't mind.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up anyway.
I just wanted to say, I know Ray talked about it, and I don't remember if Ray and I were both on the show at the same time. Ray and I recently met in Fayetteville, North Carolina. We had dinner at Bad Daddy's, and it was one of the best burgers I ever had. But the best part of the whole deal was when I pulled out those 2 little bottles of sand, one from Omaha Beach one from Utah Beach, an invasion of the shores of Normandy. Guys, what I'm talking about is most of you that know me, the old timers, know I have a soft spot in my heart for the military. Why? Because I was part of the military for 33 blinking years, and I'd do every damn day over again. Give me half a chance. But anyway, sorry, Ray. It was a pleasure meeting Ray. I got a picture. I don't know if anybody put it up or not, but I still have the picture. You know, you got a big old ox like me and a short, stubby guy like Ray. We're shaking hands in the parking lot, and it's like I've got a big old fat hat on me, and Ray's looking up at me like it was a
like
nice
David. We look like David
What's
and
that?
Goliath.
Yep.
We look like
Something
David
like
and Goliath.
So
something like that. But
you've
as
got
I understand, Nick's not too close, not too far from my size.
height wise, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get my height from my mom's side of the family because her side of the family is tall. My dad's side's not very tall.
Well, you are 6'3".
I'm 6'1.5", almost 6'2".
Okay.
My,
you're
You're
my
taller
uncles
than
are.
Mom, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm taller than my mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
The uncles are who are crazy tall, like 1'6", 1'8", or something like that.
Nice.
But anyway, I got a bunch of swag from the last shot show that Nick and Ray went to, and I wanted to thank you guys publicly for all the generosity you've given me.
No problem.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna
We'll try-
definitely have more this year because I'm checking a big bag this year, so I can grab more swag. Because the last couple years, I've really had to be stingy on what I grab. And so now that I'm taking the big suitcase and we can wash clothes, I'm not going to take as much clothes and I'll have more room for patches and other stuff. So,
Nick, why don't you think about shipping it from Las Vegas?
well, and I usually, if I buy, because we go to the Antique Arms Show on that Friday,
Right.
and I usually, if I do buy something, I ship that back.
There you
but
go.
if that patches are easy enough just to throw in the check bag because we get a free check bag. So, yeah, it's easy enough just to throw those patches in there, and so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's my side. Yeah, sorry about breaking down for the military, but I don't
nothing
know.
wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that at all, sir. Nothing wrong with that at all. So
Right from the heart.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that about wraps it up. So, yeah, definitely I want to see Marlon bring back some more stuff. So, excuse me. Yeah, I definitely. Excuse me.
Did I tell you
I want to see. What?
Did I tell you that I joined the Gun Owners of America?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
So, so, so make sure that you're swinging by Patriot Patch Company. Camerado.com. Use coupon code RELOAD. Save 5%. If you head over to our website, Reloading Podcast website on firearmsradio.net, you can click on Buy Our Merch button, and that'll take you to Southern Gals Crafts, where you can buy the cups and the shirts and the sweatshirts and stuff, can koozies, all with the podcast logo on it. If you want to be a Patch of the Month Club member and support the podcast, we've got a link to our Patreon on our webpage too. So if somebody has suggestions out there on something to use other than Patreon, I'm always listening. But unfortunately, most of the people that have tried other things, it fails worse than Patreon. So right now, just to operate the podcast, it's about $200 a month. So
Holy shit.
so I unfortunately can't afford to not have a way to have listeners help us out. So which we are greatly greatly appreciative of. So,
Amen.
if you're out there and you're a listener, and you're interested in shot shell loading, shoot me an email, reloadingpodcast@gmail.com. I might be giving away one of my shot shell presses, one of the Mech 9000Gs, maybe, or possibly one of the 600 juniors. So, and I'd like to give that away to a Patreon if possible. So, otherwise, just a show listener. So, reloadingpodcast@gmail.com is the way you get a hold of us. Otherwise, you can send us a text at 608-467-0308. Or you can leave us a voicemail, same place. You can find us on most social media. If you want to get a link to Discord, send us an email or find one of us on social media and we'll get you a link to Discord. We have a lot of conversation there. For those of you who have noticed, Paul Nelson hasn't been with us for a couple weeks. Unfortunately, Paul's health has taken a little bit of a turn. So at this point in time, Paul's going to step back from the show and focus on his health, which is what he needs to do. So just ask everybody to support Paul. He is not sure if he's going to be on Discord much or not. A lot of that depends on how he's feeling. If he's up to it, he may join the chat on the shows sometimes. So, but as a general rule, he probably will not be that involved. So, unfortunately, so that's kind of where we're with that. So,
Wealth of knowledge there. We lose him. That's a wealth of knowledge.
You bet.
Yep. So, next week, Tuesday night, Nick and Ray will be talking about all the fun toys they got to play with on Monday, and if they saw anything neat and cool on Tuesday. So,
I'm sure we will.
We are not going to do multiple shows from SHOT this year. We're only doing the one because we wind up talking about everything else the following Tuesday anyway. So we will do a final recap the following Tuesday, but we're not going to put that burden on Nick and Ray to try and do a second show. So
the current plan is, and my dad and I were kind of talking about this a couple of times last week and then over the weekend, and we talked about it a little bit today. Our plan is for Tuesday night show, we're going to have, of course, all the Ranger Day coverage. Say we got what cool toys we shot, stuff like that, what we saw. And then Tuesday on the show floor, our plan is to go and hit as many of the reloading specific companies as we can.
Okay.
So we have that because that's basically what our show is based on.
Right.
Or the main. So we're going to try to, of course, we're going to hit RCBS. RCBS might be our first booth we go to because them being back at SHOT, new ownership, and the Hodgson family.
Away from that giant conglomeration.
Yes. And the Hodgson family taking it back over. I think that's going to
be an awesome thing.
Yeah, and especially the guy that's running it is my age, maybe a little older.
Yeah.
So to see that is pretty incredible.
It's one of Chris's kids. So, it's going to be good.
Yeah, we'll definitely swing by all the other ones. That's our plan for Tuesday night to have all that. Yeah, of course, Hornady, Frankfurt Arsenal, everybody that we can think of.
Yep.
And then we'll have all the other new stuff for the following week's show.
Yep.
That gives us time to really take our time Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah, any new guns
what's
and
on the
stuff
floor.
and anything else.
Absolutely. Yep.
So.
Yeah, the basement's where you tend to find a lot of the newer products, new
oddball stuff,
especially from companies you've never heard of.
Right.
The main level we can kind of roll faster through.
Yeah.
Yep.
And part of the basement's that way too, because a lot of the basement is Chinese companies I really don't look at.
Yeah.
So there's a few of them that you might stop and look at something, but main floor there's a lot of outfitters. Like the state of Wyoming has their own booth for some reason, which is kind of odd, I think. Then we, of course, Caesar's Forum. SIG's back this year for some reason, which I thought was kind of odd for 6 Hour to make a comeback. I'm hoping Vortex starts coming back, but I doubt it.
They are done with SHOT.
I think that I figured, but
I don't know if NSSF pissed them off, or they just realized that the juice absolutely is not worth the squeeze.
Well, do they go to NRA?
I don't remember if they were there.
Because I'm wondering if they're just done with conventions. So
I think, I don't know if they were there or not. I don't think they were.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Talking to a ton of my buddies that have other channels.
Yep.
We're gonna have a good time.
Oh, absolutely.
Range day weather as of right now looks phenomenal.
Awesome.
It's gonna be 50 degrees, little breeze, but hey, it's better than snow,
6
rain,
degrees.
6 degrees. Yeah, it can. That's the thing about range day. It can be snowing, it's freezing cold, or it could be absolutely gorgeous. And then rain comes in the afternoon. You got to be prepared for everything at range day.
Yep.
So.
I've been there when it's hot, and I've been there when it's so cold the moat at Excalibur froze over. So.
Yep, that's funny. All right, gang. On that note, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the Millsap short bus.
Teach them shoot and reload when they're young.
Support the Second Amendment. Do whatever you can.
Local, state, national organizations, call your Congress critters of all your elected representatives. I don't know where Sharonda went. She disappeared. She's probably busy with something, maybe coffee. But as she likes to say, teach a lady to reload. And, oh my goodness, she's there.
She did run for coffee.
Yeah, see, told you.
Teach her how to reload and let her pinch off your stash, or just let her reload and just pinch a couple of loads off of your
There you go.
bench press.
Did you say let her pinch your ass?
No, pinch off your stash.
Oh, okay.
Right, we know where your mind is at.
My mind's always there.
Wow. Nick's like, I don't need to hear this. I don't need to hear this.
I'm back on the market, so we're good.
Uh-oh.
Well, damn, that was true. You breaking up with him before SHOT Show now? Are you? Hey, Candy.
Nah,
Be nice.
I'll tell you guys about it later on. So no, it was cordial, so it was all good. So
all right, gang. If you're struggling, 988 or 1-800-273-8255. Get a hold of somebody. They can help you. If you're in crisis, if you're serious and you're really, really struggling, you're not sure what to do, you don't know which way's up, reach out, get some help. Also reach out to Walk the Talk America. It's a good place to start if you're just looking to kind of, get it going long term, and it's not a crisis situation. So mental health is a real concern. You need to pay attention to it. You need to work on it. We can't do what we used to do, which is just bury it. It doesn't work. It's not effective. It ruins relationships. It ruins people. And we need to start having a conversation openly about mental health and mental health in this country, and we need to focus on mental health. It needs to become a focus in this country. So, thanks, folks. Good night.
Good night.
Oh, yeah.